Robert. Welcome to Tech Confessions.
Hi, Amy.
Are you ready to confess?
I feel the need to confess.
Excellent. So, as a technologist, what was your software-defined moment? When did you stop concentrating as much on the hardware and really think about software?
So, a few years ago, we did a customer implementation of the full SDDC stack, and that included vRealize, automation, and NSX, and everything around that. I think the realization with me came at this moment when I realized that all this stuff, it's cool technology, but it changes business process in a way that even the businesses that buy this stuff, they don't imagine it. They don't really get it until it happens to them, and it happens to them later. So at some point, I heard that it was service managers, completely non-technical people, were busy rolling out complete application stacks, spinning up VMs with everything on top themselves. They'd just been given the access and they were just doing it. And these were not technical people, but the whole thing had been abstracted out so severely that they didn't even need, even the help desk anymore to have them provide all this stuff.
Wow.
And it was all being rolled out to spec, highly redundant. And that's when I kind of went like, this is a business process change. It's fundamentally changed how quickly they can do stuff, and that's the value add, right? That's the thing that really, that's what you want to achieve. But they had never imagined they could get that far when they bought all this stuff, when we built it for them. That realization only came later. That like, oh wow, this changes everything. And
I would think some of the folks hired in later to that company or had only done things that way, that set a standard for them everywhere else will ever work.
That's right, because this was now like 4, almost 5 years ago. And they were pretty cutting edge, because a lot of companies are still making that journey. But yeah, there are people there that they don't know how good they have it, because you go back to other companies, you have to wait, 3 or 4 weeks to get your stack all set up, including all the firewalling and all the networking. And here it was like a 30-minute rollout.
Wow.
They feel that it can be faster than that, even.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it really is human nature, right?
Yes, yeah, it's never good enough, and that's great. That's what drives it, right?
So how have you taken that to other customers? I mean, that's such an amazing story. How has that changed you?
So this is having a customer like that and doing an implementation like that is that's rare. It's rare to have a customer that's visionary and cutting edge, but it's of course that's where a lot of my experience comes from. So you take that to every single other customer you talk to, because you hold it up as the holy grail. This is
it's real. It's not like an urban legend.
It's real. And while I was still at that company, I could actually show this to them. Literally, I could do the deployment and show them all this stuff is being built. Now I simply have to tell the story until we can get to that point with one of my new customers. Until we get to that point, I can simply say, look, you can achieve this. We have built this. We actually know how to do this. This is not just marketing. It's not just it's not a utopia. But it can actually be achieved.
Yeah.
And it's been great to have been part of a project that actually pushed the envelope that far and that early as well.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So when you look into the crystal ball, or even when you hear customers now, what do you think is coming? Like, that is so remarkable to me, even now, like you said, 4 or 5 years into them doing this. What do you think we have on the horizon? What's coming?
Well, containers, for one.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have developers in your own company, you don't do your own software development, it might be something that you think is coming at you. But it is, because it's the way applications are now being developed and the speed at which they're being developed and the way code is being deployed and provisioned, that's going to hit all of us across the whole IT industry. So even if you're a vSphere admin now, you can be a vSphere admin for the next 10 years, but deployment of code in other forms than just VMs is coming, and it's something that we're also going to have to align with. It's something that we're going to have to start thinking about too. So we might not be in the code stream, right? We might not be a part of a continuous integration lifecycle, but we are going to have to think more and more in DevOps terms. Yeah. We're going to have to start talking to developers. We're going to have to start talking to application people and start aligning the infrastructure more and more closely to the application, because it's really about delivering the application now. And all of this cool stuff that we like to nerd around with, it's cool, but it serves a higher purpose, and that purpose is getting workloads out there and maintaining their life cycle as quickly as possible. And containers and Docker and Kubernetes are all a part of that same thing. And so it's becoming harder and harder for even like a storage admin or a network admin or a vSphere admin to ignore that is how applications will be built in future, more and more. And it's still, it's only just started, but it's happening rapidly. And then there's public cloud, which is also coming. And those two go really well together in many ways, of course.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your confession here today.
Thank you very much. It was cool.
When you're ready to make your tech confession, join us at techconfessionstheshow.com.